Okay, square body update. Got the body work pretty much all done on the doors and the fenders. And so now it's roof time. On firewall. Firewall's just about done. We got all smoothed out. In the other video I showed where I welded in this panel from the Classic Auto Air and smoothed the firewall. So that's looking good. But now, it's time to replace this roof. This roof is really bad. It had a big dent in it back where all the pins are. Now it's all just oil cans really bad. You can see that. It's got oil canning really bad and I can't fix it. I'm not very good at shrinking metal, so this one's really bad. So I'm just gonna take it off, put a new roof on. So the first step is, see all these spot welds? There's spot welds in the door channel, spot welds along the windshield channel, and then in the back there's just a seam with no spot welds. So we'll cut that, and then this will get glued with the 3M panel bond, and these spot welds will be replaced with new spot welds. And there's a new roof back there. So let's get started here. So we've got an interesting tool here. This is a spot weld cutter. It's just a bit that you can buy, and it's got little teeth on it, and it's got kind of a center punch that just centers. You put that little punch in the center of the spot weld, and then those teeth, they'll just cut the metal all the way around the spot weld. So the way this works is you find your spot weld, you put that little tip in the center of your spot weld, like that, best you can. Push in, and then just start drilling. But the problem is that tip kind of likes to walk around a little bit, so there's one more step. So what I'm going to try here is take a small drill bit and just put a little hole right in the center of each spot weld. So now we have a place to put that little center pin. We're going to try and drill out these spot welds. So if we did that correctly, you can see the cutter just went through the first layer of metal and cut all around the spot weld and didn't go through the second layer. So theoretically, we should be able to just peel this panel right off now. But you can see those are the spot welds we cut out. This one I drilled all the way through, so that'll have to get welded up. But we'll grind this channel down, make that fresh and clean for new spot welds. Let's see what this looks like. A little rusty, not bad. This is some factory insulation, I guess. I decided I'm going to take this factory sound deadening mat off of here because it wasn't sticking very well. But I want to show you why it's here. So with this insulation in place, listen to the roof. If that wasn't there, that would sound like a tin can inside that cab driving down the road. So even that little bit of insulation makes a huge difference. So I was looking at this back edge, thinking, how am I going to get that back edge off? Should be pretty easy because it looks like it's just seam sealer. I'll probably just stick a knife right in there, cut through the seam sealer, and that should come right off. I don't see any welds. Well, wrong. There's about 1 billion spot welds on the inside of this thing. Like a spot weld every ½ inch. So GM engineers must have been really worried about the back edge of this roof coming off or something. So I'm in the process of drilling out all these spot welds. Thankfully, once you drill the welds, this thing just comes right off because whatever seam sealer was in there is just all rotten and old. So I'm gonna keep drilling here. So the old roof skin is off. I got all these edges cleaned up real nice here. I was wiping this with a cloth here and my finger just happened to brush this edge right here. And that thing is like a knife edge, sliced right through, halfway through my finger. So that's something to watch out for. Man, I don't know how these edges could be so sharp. But this one feels kind of dull. Not sharp there. Yep, note to self, do not cut fingers off. So I have some POR 15 left over from when I did the frame of the truck. Did the whole frame with POR 15. But I watched a guy on YouTube that does a bunch of scientific reviews of products all the time, some farmer guy. And he reviewed this. Actually, he did about 10 different rust reformer products. POR 15 scored the best, but was most expensive. And this is just some cheap Walmart rust reformer stuff. And I think this got second place. Did a really good job on light surface rust for like way less money. So I'm gonna try that stuff. Okay, rust proofing stuff done. Looks pretty good. I don't think it matters what brand of this stuff, Dynamat, this happens to be Fat Mat. They're all about the same. They're just aluminum with kind of a tar. And you can see, I've had this in the back shed for a long time, years. I just brought it up here and you can see this stuff. It's not particularly sticky. But what you do is take your heat gun, heat it up a little bit, and now it's like glue. So what I've been doing is just heating this up all the way along, section by section, and gluing it down. Check this out. I got my rust reformer paint and some carb cleaner. I'm going to take the cap off of this and the cap off of this, the straw. Now, take my rust reformer and I can get it way up in those hard to reach places. See? How cool is that? Pop that off, put it back on the carb cleaner. Just give it a couple shots to clean the paint out of that straw, and we're good to go again. Got the mat done on the roof. And the roof is on. So we got spot welds all the way across the inside of the windshield channel there, and spot welds all up in the door channel. And then the back edge I got full of seam seal, and it's pretty rough. I gotta finish that, trim that up real nice. But it's on, we got a roof.